I'm just going to spell it out directly now in the beginning that I'm so tired about reading all the common misconceptions and the fake rumors about ultralight hiking in the hiking community. I mean, this gotta stop. No, it is not dangerous, and no, it is not like you're going to freeze your ass off or anything, and no, it is not just those guys or thru hikers that are interested in ultralight hiking. Mainly it is just normal people trying to reduce their pack weight to increase the comfort, or sometimes only to be able to go out there. It could be injuries, it could be age or whatever. And then to hear all of this stupid stuff that it is dangerous, I mean, come on, this gotta stop. Let's end this today and spread the word that ultralight hiking is for everyone, each one of you, all hikers, and that it is not dangerous at all. There's only benefits. Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode, and one that will be all about ultralight hiking and all about how ultralight is perceived in the hiking community in general. And the question is why so many people are afraid to even try or look into ultralight hiking and lighter gear, and why so many people spread these false and fake rumors like this one that I found in a Facebook group not too long ago. I had to write it down on a piece of paper and read it to you. Unfortunately, ultralight hiking is gaining in popularity, but like we all know, it is dangerous and you will just be cold and miserable. Well, I don't know, but I think it is about time that we start educating people and spread the word that UL is amazing. And today I'm going to explain to you why and why it is for everyone. I will begin looking at the positives and why UL hiking is so fantastic before we dive into the goal of the 10 pounds or the 4.5 kilo base weight, and then talk about the false rumors people spread in the communities and talk about the truth instead. One doesn't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that the basics for ultralight hiking is a lighter backpack. And that it takes less effort to carry a lighter pack. Less effort means saved energy that you can spend hiking further and longer distances, or just enjoying your hike more. Less weight also reduces the risk of injuries in your knees, in your back, and I would say your whole body. Regarding the weight, I would like to start out by saying that you don't need to achieve those 10 pounds or the 4.5 kilo in base weight to enjoy the ultralight gear. You could just cherry pick the gear that you need or want, and that way reduce your base weight. I would also like to add that ultralight is not about the weight. Or at least not about a specific weight, in my opinion. The things that influence the weight and the gear that you finally end up with in your backpack depends on a lot of things. Maybe you are a taller person, so you need to buy a bigger tent and also buy bigger and heavier clothes. There are actually a big difference between small and extra large. Then maybe you also are a cold sleeper, so you need a little bit more insulation to stay warm. Or maybe you have a knee or back condition and you need to bring a chair and also maybe a thicker pad to make it through the night. What I'm trying to say here is that the minimum weight you end up with depends on you, where and when you hike, and your gear should be based on that and that alone. Never ever choose gear because they are just light. Always choose the lightest gear possible to fulfill the requirements needed. If you then end up with 10 pounds or less, that is great, congratulations, but remember, it is not a competition. When I read about false rumors and misconceptions about ultralight hiking, like the one that I read to you earlier, I get mad and sad. Because I know people will believe them and look away from ultralight gear and miss out on a better hiking experience. So let's go through the most common misconceptions and rumors that we read about, and afterwards talk about the truth instead. If you go ultralight, you will always be cold. Well, this is the most common one, I would say, and let's just think about this for a second. And what do you think? Is it true? Of course it is not. If you are cold, it is not because of the lighter gear, but you who picked the wrong gear for that hike. It is that simple. If it is going to be 0 degrees, well, then you pick a sleeping bag or a quilt and a pad suitable for that temperature. And then you of course bring a nice and warm down jacket to stay warm during the evenings, and sleeping clothes. And everything that you need staying warm. With more experience, you can dial in your gear to be lighter and as light as possible for every hike and still be warm. Sure, you will probably make some wrong decisions along the way, but that is true no matter if you're using lighter gear or not. Being ultralight isn't safe. This is the second biggest rumor, I would say, and then again, not true. Of course, the gear should be chosen to fulfill the requirements needed for the hike ahead, and then you choose the lightest gear possible. Many refers to the tent being the weak point in an UL setup, and sure, I can understand that. I mean, 525 grams for a 2-person shelter seems pretty light, if not stupid light. But here is where the experience come in again. Sometimes a 525 gram tent is the right choice, like in a not too exposed campsite. But they are much stronger than perceived due to the shape, due to the stronger material, the DCF, and the use of trekking poles instead of tent poles. But if you know you will be hiking and pitching your tent in higher altitudes, in more exposed areas, where finding a protected campsite is difficult, then choose another tent. I'm not saying because of that you should buy a tent weighing 3 kilo or more. No. Instead, look for a design that is famous to be good handling stronger winds, like a teepee tent, for example. What I also would like to add, and what is really important, and since this is not a contest and about achieving those 10 pounds in base weight, if a heavier tent is what needed to make you feel safe, or maybe like a specific brand like Hilleberg, for example, often they have lighter tents available, like Hilleberg has the Niak and Enan and the yellow label tents. Go for those instead of the heavier one, and if only your tent is not ultralight, you will still come a long way if the rest of your equipment is. UL is about minimalism and to understand your gear, and leaving the gear that you don't need at home is the first and most important step towards a lighter pack. UL is also about bringing the lightest gear possible for the hike ahead that still fulfill the requirements needed. UL is also about going further in comfort to see and experience more. UL hiking is not about taking risks or reducing your base weight and comfort to the point that you feel miserable on your hikes. There will always be people pushing this to the limits and to the extreme, but that has nothing to do with ultralight hiking. What to bring or what not to bring is totally up to you, but remember, this is not a contest. If you achieve those 10 pounds or not, it doesn't matter. But lighter gear means less effort. I believe that much we can agree upon. This is just my 2 cents about ultralight hiking, and I believe that some of you agree and some of you don't. But please share your thoughts and what UL means to you, and maybe also share your best recommendations to new hikers interested in ultralight hiking by leaving a comment. But for now, this is it, and if you liked today's episode, take a look at these 2 recommendations on my other videos. Also do hit like, subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on any future content. I hope to see you next week, but for now, take care, safe hiking and bye bye.